Recording has begun. Madam Chairwoman, I think you're still muted.
All right, can we hear me now?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
No problem. Sorry. Good morning. Great. We'll go ahead and call to order the Design Review Board meeting for November 9th. And we will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, which stands one nation under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
And first item on the agenda for today is the approval of the minutes from the October 12th Design Review Board session. I had no comments over the agenda, the minutes from that meeting. Anyone?
I'll move to approve.
No comments.
All right. I second. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Okay. The minutes have been approved. The matter of discussion for today at the Design Review Board meeting is the Charles County Library on 208 Washington Avenue.
All right, good morning, Planning Commission, Design Review Board members, Janine Harrington, Director of Planning for the record. Before I get started, I did want to let everyone know that unfortunately for us, yesterday was Laura Lyons' last day. So you're stuck with me from now on. But we wish her the best in her next venture and appreciate the time and service that she gave to the town over the last few years. So I just wanted to let everyone know. So for the Charles County Library, they have come back with a revised elevation for review. This is for the new library that's approximately 28,000 square feet. It's going to provide general library programming and operations, administrative offices, and community space for the public and meetings, things along those lines. So they did take your comments into consideration from the previous meeting, and they did revise the elevation using the building footprint from the elevation B that was shown before, using that more traditional design to make that fit in with the surrounding context a little bit better. They have noted that they are going to be looking for LEED certification with this building, so that will be a huge benefit to that site. Now for the things that they took into consideration, again, they did change the facade to have that more traditional appearance. They do have the entrance corridor with the canopy and just kind of revise that a little bit to make it match the traditional look. They did go ahead and revise the mobile library roll-up doors to fit in with the window facade for the rest of the building. It makes it look a lot more cohesive. From my understanding, having those doors, and you can see that here in this picture, where there is a little bit of a canopy to the left-hand side next to the tree, those are the mobile roll-up doors, but they did revise those to make them look more like the surrounding windows and doors that are already existing on the building. So that should aid with the overall design and look of that area. I did go around and take some pictures of the surrounding buildings so you can kind of get a feel for what actual we have the houses that are to the north, And then directly to the south, you have the Meredith Building. And the design is very similar to the Meredith Building with the brick facade, the white trim. So that should fit in very nicely. As well as the Charles County Courthouse Building. All those kind of tie in together, and you can see where it fits in with that environment. So they are saying that on the materials for the building, they're looking for on the siding, cement board, the sandstone finish. Windows will be low emissive glazing. Doors will be storefront aluminum with hollow metal doors around sides and rears of building for ingress. They don't have any shutters for the building. The canopies will be similar to cement fibrous building panels. The trim will be a sandstone finish to mimic precast stone, and the roof is single ply EPDM roof. They are using the muted neutral tones with the brick, the sandstone finish, and the white single ply membrane EPDM roofing for those areas. So staff did review this, and it is in compliance with all of the elements of the design guidelines, and we are recommending approval as presented. I know I mentioned that this is in the R8 zone, so it didn't technically fall under the DRB, but because of this building is such a important highlight for the downtown core, we did want to make sure that we got the design review board input to make sure that it's going to fit in with our redevelopment area in the downtown and provide that recommendation for as we move forward with the planning commission and the building permit. So with that, I'll open it up to any questions that you may have of staff, and we do have the applicant online as well, should you have any questions of them.
So I have a quick question. The front of the building is on the extended Talbot Street extension. Is that,
It would be facing Washington Avenue.
Can you go back to the site plan, please?
Yeah.
So Betty, the quote front of the building faces the parking lot, looking toward Washington Avenue.
I see. Okay. I was confused by the, I guess the secondary parking lot.
So the secondary
So then
parking lot
oh,
is, the town actually purchased that land. It was the Ironworks property. And so we have the intention of creating Talbot Street. David, can I mute you? I'll mute him real quick, sorry. So the intention is to extend Talbot Street all the way through and connect it to North Maple Avenue.
Right.
And then to
Yeah.
provide additional parking on that lot that the town had purchased. And that can kind of create a shared parking area as we redevelop downtown, making it more walkable and trying to have that kind of off-street parking available for the public to use in the downtown. And there are several site constraints which kind of helped with how they're orienting the building. There is a very large stream valley that goes through part of that property.
Yeah.
So orienting and trying to get all of the features onto the site was a little bit challenging. And that's why they kind of have it oriented the way that they do.
Well, I appreciated that it's farther back. If the bay doors and the bay doors, the mobile library bay doors are, in my opinion, more aesthetically pleasing with this revision. So that's, I appreciate that. But I guess it sits farther back. Is the house, the White House, the old Winkler home, is that going to remain, or will that be?
So I have not heard any updates on this. I know that the county was looking into this. I'm not sure if they have any updates or if they've made any progress on kind of determining the status of that.
Because if the house remains, then those bay doors won't be seen, but even now, if they are, with the revisions and the additions to the design, it's not going to be as, it will be, yeah, never mind.
Yeah, it should not be very noticeable at all.
Right.
Especially, there's going to be landscaping in the parking lot. There's going to be, they're maintaining that large magnolia that's on the site. And that magnolia tree actually would line up fairly well with where those bay doors are. So
Yeah.
there's going to be a lot of landscaping. There's going to be a lot of things that are going to help, block that view. And it's not going to be, they've made it so it fits in really well. It looks like regular doors. So you really wouldn't
Yeah.
know unless the actual mobile, what is it called? The bookmobile?
Yeah.
The bookmobile is actually parked there, and then you're not going to see them anyway. You'll see the bookmobile. So, but I see that Candace is on, and then we have a couple others on. So if you have anything else to add to that, you're more than welcome to.
No, I was just wondering if the house was going to remain myself, but I like knowing that the magnolia will remain.
I was very firm on that one.
Yes, good morning. This is John Stevens. I'm Chief of Capital Services. And the disposition of that house, all I can say right now is that we won't have to, it's our intent that we won't have to remove it, nor that magnolia tree for the construction. As far as the disposition of it afterwards, that's not my decision. And I don't think that I've heard from the county administrator's office any decision has been made on that one way or the other.
And do you know what your hopeful time frame is? I know time frames get pushed back or whatever, but do you have a timeline, the time frame of completion that you would like, that you're working for?
Yeah, Candace, I'll let you address that, and perhaps Ron, our architect, can weigh in on that as well.
Sure. Well, this is a pivotal point for us, of course, as Janine has said, and she's been very helpful in getting us to this point where, a lot of the concerns that you have now been addressed. So once we have an opportunity to sort of move past this particular requirement in terms of making sure that we're our regulatory requirements have been met, then we'll be able to revisit the schedule.
Yeah. I'm excited for it.
So are we.
Yeah.
Yes, I know the next steps in the process is looking at the stormwater management plans, the major site plan. I know that they had already done a step 1 stormwater management plan, so we'll be looking at the step 2 and the actual planning commission review and approval. So those would take a couple of months based on, review times and kind of the complexity of how things go. So as far as our process is concerned, the next steps will be the site plan for the town on this end.
I think it'll be a wonderful addition to the town. I'm excited for it.
So I guess the main purpose of this is to get a consensus from the board if we're okay with the revised elevation, just showing the traditional design and the features that they have included in their design review board application.
Thank you. I want to personally say thank you to the client for taking our comments and concerns about the original options of the building into consideration, and for allowing us to have kind of an opinion on this main piece of our new downtown area. So thank you very much. Are there any other comments from the design review board in reference to giving this plan approval? I will motion to approve this plan as presented.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed? Okay. This plan has been approved as presented.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. The next item on our agenda for today is the planning department updates.
All right, that's me again, Janine Harrington, Director of Planning for the record. So for upcoming projects, we will have the splashing car wash, which is proposed at 6365 Crane Highway. That is next to McDonald's, just down from the Pepsi Cola plants. There is an old Hart Motel on the property currently that will be demolished, and they are pursuing a car wash at that location. I do not have any current administrative DRB review items. We do have a few that have been kind of on hold for quite a while, but we haven't gotten anything new in as of recently. I just wanted to update everyone that for the town hall, we are with our Bird City designation. We've started to try to make sure that we are bird friendly around the town hall. So we've been setting up bird feeders and a bird bath and different features that people can see as they're walking through town hall. We've had quite a few visitors. So if you stop by the town hall, you can check those out and see the different birds that are coming around. For planning department priority updates, I wanted to let you know that we did submit our sustainable community application to the Department of Housing and Community Development on 10/14, and it is currently within the review process. They have to look at our boundary, which at this point we are proposing to incorporate the entire central business and central business transition, as well as a few residential areas throughout Kent Avenue and then down towards Glen Albin. They do have funding and grants available to help with communities that need some assistance. So we're trying to see if we can get that approved and open up some doors to improve some of those neighborhoods as well as the downtown. I have several code revisions that we are currently working on. We have our adequate public facilities ordinance, which was drafted. I was trying to take it to the December 6th Planning Commission meeting, but I think we're going to take a step back and work with our consultant at Mead and Hunt, who are the traffic experts, not me, and have them weigh in and look at some of the features within that adequate public facilities ordinance, so we can move that forward with a well-designed and thought-out process. Once we get that draft back from Mead and Hunt, we will then move forward to the Planning Commission to start the review and discussion process, and then bring the town attorney in for legal review. We're also looking at Chapter 170, streets and sidewalks. There's many others that are on my list. I just wanted to point out a couple that will directly impact some of the items for the design review board. Chapter 173 subdivision ordinance and Chapter 191 sign ordinance. I had sent the sign ordinance to the La Plata Business Association, and I'm going to be following up with them to see if they have any comments on that. But really the idea is to use the kind of national model ordinance that I found, which really does take out context from the code right now. It still has a lot of context for what can be on signage. And I know that there's been some legal issues on that end. So we're trying to kind of remove that element and clarify a few more things so it's easier for code enforcement and for the public to understand and utilize the sign code. And with that, I will ask if you guys have any questions for me. And I have to remove Laura.
I don't have any questions. Anyone else? Great. Thank you, Janine.
Just give Laura our best when you chat with her.
Yeah, I absolutely will.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Janine. The next item on our agenda is council updates from Councilman Goldsmith.
Yes, good morning. A couple things, basically more procedural than anything else. The new town clerk, Craig Dare, and Kelly have updated our procedures that we're supposed to follow as we go through legislation preparation and such. Now, that's good. They have it now official. It's just a matter of making us follow it at this point in time. The wastewater treatment plant is installing a new ultraviolet light and provide other additional upgrades as well. We also approved the purchase of 2 mobile video trailers to be able to place around the town particular an area that maybe we might have concerns of what's going on in that particular location. So that will be coming in soon, and we approved our meeting schedule for the year. Otherwise, it's been kind of quiet here in the last month. As far as the council is concerned, although there's been a lot of activities taking place within the town, as you're all well aware of. Any questions?
I don't have any. Anyone else?
I did have one more thing I wanted to point out. You may have seen a few posts on Facebook regarding the radio station bikeway side path. There is some engineering soil boring that's going on. We are hoping that the side path will kind of begin construction in 2023, 2024. And again, that will go all the way from Rosewick Road down Radio Station to 488, down to Charles Street, and then down Willow Lane. So that's a big project for us, and it's a really big component of our comprehensive plan. And if we can get that moving, that would be a good checkbox for our pedestrian and bicycle goals and action items. So I just wanted to keep you apprised of that.
You. Okay. If there's no further business for today, I'll motion to adjourn today's session of the Design Review Board.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
All right.
Those opposed? Okay. Today's session of the Design Review Board is now adjourned.
Everyone
Have a
have
good
a happy
day.
Thanksgiving.
Okay, bye-bye.